first team of the day, this introduction for them. What can I say about this team, man? A lot of good young assets. Let's start it out there first. They have a lot of good young assets. Their center been in trade rumors for the last couple of years, but he been beating them like Tyler Hero. He been beating the trade rumors. You make a big move and add a guy that's an all-star, that's a champion, been All-NBA if I'm not mistaken, to pair with your young up-and-coming guard, who's sort of kind of taking the league by storm with his playmaking ability and also his outside shot as well. The Indiana Pacers. That's the team. I couldn't think of anything else. The Indiana Pacers is the team that we're going to start off with. And for everybody that's up here or in the chat, feel free to come to the stage. To start the segment off, we're going to look at the record from last year and decide or discuss or predict if we think they go over or under their win total from last season. And then what do we think will probably be improved for them from last season to this season? Where do we think they'll finish this season? And then how is their future looking? That's what it is. And anything else you want to say? That's what it is for all 6 teams today. As far as the Indiana Pacers, I'll kick this one off. Excuse me, by the way, too. I'll kick this one off. 47-35 last year. Fun team. One of the better offensive teams in the league, but one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Obviously, a lot of that is due to personnel. I got to stop saying too. Due to personnel. Halliburton also dealing with a hamstring injury last year. They still finished out winning 47 games with phenomenal bench play from their backup point guard, TJ McConnell. I believe he got an extension this offseason too, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull up their contract real quick. On top of that, we're now going to see a full season of 2 All-Stars together, Siakam and Halliburton. That's going to be interesting to see. And also Ben Mathurin, who missed a lot of last year, who got hurt. He will be in the lineup for them, a good scorer, a good young scorer for them. They got a lot of guys that's up and coming, period. So I'm going to pull up their depth chart. 47 wins last year. 47 last year for the Pacers. I want to say the same. I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna say under for now because I think it's gonna be 46-47. And I think they're more likely to win 46 than winning 48. So I'm gonna say under for now. But it's very possible. So as of right now, I'm gonna say under. Under for me in this situation is basically like me saying the same. I think honestly they're gonna win the same amount of games or be in that same ballpark. Biggest improvement for them last season to this season, probably for me, is seeing what they can get out of Jarris Walker and Benedict Mathurin. And also Nembhard. There's 3 young guys on their team that's fitting in with Halliburton, Siakam, and Miles Turner. What growth is Aaron Nesmith going to take? He's one of their better perimeter defenders last year and also one of their better shooters on their team. So they got a lot of different pieces that they can work with. Ben Shepherd is a guy that can come off the bench and spark you too as well. Isaiah Jackson was a good guy for them off the bench as well. And also Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin performed. Didn't have the best playoffs, but overall throughout the regular season, he performed for them. So again, they go 10 deep in the regular season as they should. They got a good coach in Rick. And again, there'll be another fun team to watch this season in the Eastern Conference. So I'm not really seeing no major improvements for them. I think really the main thing for them is just health. A lot of guys got banged up for them last year, Halliburton, Mathurin, etc. I think you just need to see need to be healthy. They got that playoff experience last year. They won a playoff series last year. Who did they beat last year? Anybody? I forgot. Who did they beat in the playoffs last year, y'all? I forgot. When they beat the Knicks. They beat the Bucks. The Pacers. They beat the Bucks. Thank you. They beat the Bucks
and then they beat the Knicks
with all them injuries. Thank you, Josiah. Mazak. What the hell? Bucks and Knicks. So they got the experience, and in their first real push or run or trying to go for it, they made the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's pretty damn good. Nothing beats experience, especially in the playoffs. What are they looking like this year for me? A team that's going to not make the Eastern Conference Finals this year. No shade, no hate. They're not making the Conference Finals this year. I highly doubt that. But they'll be a playoff team again this year. They probably won't be in the play-in this year again. We'll see. But they'll be a playoff team again this year. But I do expect them, honestly, to lose in the first round because I think they're going to play one of the upper teams in the Eastern Conference. and I know I'm trying to switch it, West. They're going to play the Celtics. They're going to play they're going to play the Knicks. They're going to play the Sixers, and I don't think they're going to be one of those teams in the first round. What does their future look like? I think now you have two guys in Siakam and Halliburton, who Siakam's got a big extension this offseason that you can build around, and now you look at your assets that you have on your team to see what will work and what would not work. You have the opportunity to trade Obi or Mathurin or Jers alongside a first-round draft pick, and probably even Miles Turner to get another guy, so if they want to go in that route, or even Nembhard if they want to go in that route. So I like their roster overall. Tristan Newton, the rookie, is a solid player as well. Don't expect him to play that much this year. But the future's looking bright in Indiana. So if you're a Pacers fan, you should be happy, and there's nothing to feel down about. So as of right now, as far as the win total mark, I got them going the same. And they're going to be an exciting, fun offensive team again this year. You play fantasy basketball, Halliburton is a guy that should get drafted in the first round. I'm going to give you 20 and 10 on a night-to-night basis for the most part. And Siakam will have another good scoring year as well. So that's pretty much all I got on Indiana Pacers. I'm going to pass it to Mazak. Mazak, I know you rock with Siakam. I know you started rocking with the Pacers after the trade. Do you got them going over under 47 wins this year? And then what are you looking for? What do you think is next for the Pacers upcoming season in the future?
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Actually, I think I have them like in the middle. I could see them going one over or one under. I still think they're going to be in that range though. Whatever, 47 wins. They could be 49. They could be 46. But I still think they're going to be around that same range, bro. Just because, bro, they have the best regular season offense. They always generate the best looks, like especially like even in the playoffs. But the regular season, they always like their offense is pretty fast paced. It's fun to watch. They generate the best looks. They get a bunch of open threes, and they're just gonna keep knocking that down, especially in the regular season. I think they're just gonna cruise through it. So they'll be like a 6 seed, 6-7. I think they won't be in the play-in, but I think those be like that last playoff guaranteed spot. But yeah, man, I'm excited, bro. I got a bunch of young guys, like what's it called, Ben Shepherd too. I forgot. I didn't think you named him. Ben Shepherd. They got Nembhard. They got Jarris Walker. They got Obi Toppin. They got just a bunch of guys, and especially if you watch them during the playoffs, one of those guys was always like going off. They weren't like, I wouldn't say like Hallie and Siakam play like elite level to like get past teams, but like you would see a Ben Shepherd 20-point game, or you would see a Obi Toppin 24-point game. Like one of those guys would always have a good night. And, like that was especially like at home, and that was just pushing them like over the edge. So yeah, man, I think they'll be a tough second round team, especially like they're not in the Boston, Philly, or Knicks tier. I don't think they're like title contenders or like contenders to make it out the East, but they're like that second team down. They're like where the Cavs and Bucks are, and like Orlando, they're like down there. You know what I'm saying? So like you never know, but it'll be a tough out. I don't know. I could see them taking all these other teams. Like I could see them beating Cleveland. I could see them beating Orlando. I could see them being, if they ever play them in the play, it's going to be pretty hard to play them in the series compared to where they're at. But yeah, man, Hallie too, man, one of the best point guards in the league, man. I think he's going to take a leap next year, especially scoring wise, like from the half court, just off creation too. He's one of the best. Probably the best playmaker in the league too. Jarris Walker, I think will take a leap. I think he'll get more minutes, man. He looked pretty good in the preseason too. So it's just more reps with him. I think they're going to put him on the backup. And then you see Siakam, I don't need to speak on him, man. Amazing playoff series last year. I think he's going to get more like gelled into the team because he came halfway through the season. The chemistry is going to be there. Their offense is going to be a lot better, bro. Defensively, they'll still be like, I don't know if they'll be like bottom 15, but if you're the best season team, if you're the best regular season offense, you could be a top 15 team and you could cruise fine. So that's pretty much it. But it'll be like the 2022 Kings, if y'all remember how good those guys were. So yeah, that's all I got. I'll take the over, man. It'll be a tough first round out.
Tough first round out. I like that. I definitely agree with that part. Heverson, Pacers.
You want me to actually speak about the Pacers?
Yeah, Siakam.
I think it's more of the same as last year. Like just really good offense, no defense. They'll run you out of the gym type of thing. I don't think they go far in the playoffs though, unless injuries or whatnot. Other than that, like I don't see them going far in the playoffs.
We gotta do that when we're done with the 16s. We gotta do that Siakam topic from yesterday to next. Got to.
All right. Wes, you got anything different to say about the Pacers, brother?
Yeah, Twin, I thought you was gonna speak on the boy who Paulo ain't never gonna be better than.
Who won the Pacers? Paulo never gonna be better than.
Nobody said he won't be back.
I'm looking at the roster like, wait, who? I'm like,
Nigga Hallie, nigga. He ain't never passed him,
nah,
nigga.
I don't know about that. I
For
think
real.
Paulo was better than Holly, bro. I don't know
If he
about
talk
that.
about Siakam though, that nigga ass, so he can
Don't
pass
talk
him.
about it, bro.
We was talking about. I'm joking.
Go talk about
That's
it.
what Jordan was talking about. That's the
They
conversation
two
last
cheeks.
night.
Oh,
That's
They
the
both.
conversation we was talking about last night.
What? Hey, what? Excuse me, Wes, you here? Excuse me, y'all.
Yeah, what's up?
You got anything different to say about the Pacers? Than what you haven't heard yet?
I guess the only thing I'll say is I'm looking forward to see, how they incorporate Jarris this season. Um, he's a guy that I was kind of high on, and I want to see him pan out. I want to see, how well he can shoot. And if he's not shy, I just want to make sure, he's not shy when it comes to putting up threes. And if that, works out in his favor, he's making them at a respectable clip. Just seeing how much burn he can get, how much tick he can get. But he's in a weird situation because they have a lot of forwards over there. So, yeah, I don't want him to get lost in the fray or lost in the shuffle. But that's the only player on that team that I actually care about is Jarris Walker, somewhat.
Respectable. Jordan Woods, you got anything to say about the Pacers or anybody on their team? And also, Wes, before Jordan, Wes, you got them going over or under 47 from last year?
East is weak. Probably. It's tough though. 47. Given health, I think they go over 47. So I'm gonna just say over. I can't assume that they won't have some semblance of help. Cause yeah, it's like once you get past the big three, per se, or four, excuse me, in the conference. Once you get past the big four, I think Indiana's right there at fifth, and their style of basketball, run and gun, score a lot of points, uh, control pace. It's a regular season style of play, so I think they win 48 plus.
You like Indiana before Jordan. You like Indiana before over Cleveland?
Yeah, I think for the regular season, especially since Cleveland didn't fix the too big shit, because I wanted Cleveland to move off of Jarrett Allen, and maybe they do. Maybe something with the Pels, an emergency. They're looking at it and they're like, look, this DeJounte, CJ, Herb, Trey Murphy, Ingram, it's just not gonna work. Let's get Ingram out, odd man out, and go get a center. And if that can materialize, then I might be looking back and putting some more stock into Cleveland. But unless a deal like that comes about for Cleveland, I'm not crazy about the too big thing. Because even though Mobley started shooting a few threes, he just doesn't have the volume. Like he'll shoot 2 a game or something like that, but unless that number goes to like 5, which I'm not sure he's ready to go to 5 threes a game, it's just too clunky. So, and don't forget, like the reason the Pacers weren't better than them last year is because of the Hallie injury. If Hallie stays healthy, the Pacers are better than them.
But Garland missed time too, though.
Yeah, that was good.
You
for
just
them.
flipping Garland, like you know what? You're right.
Like no disrespect, because I fuck with Garland, but that was actually good for their team. Their best stretch of basketball actually came when Garland went down, and Garland and Mobley were down, and their best stretch of basketball started coming in that time frame because they were actually really underperforming prior to that. Garland went down, Mobley went down, and then what they did was D-Mitch at the 1 and surround him with shooters. So Dean Wade got more minutes, got Sam Merrill to play more minutes, and their philosophy just changed. All right, let's shoot threes, like shoot a lot of threes. And Jarrett Allen started playing like an all-star, and that's when their best stretch of basketball came without two of their better players. Because it's hard to play like that, right? They got two small guards who need the ball, and then two bigs who operate in the same space. So it's just weird. It's like they really need to, for sure, with one of the bigs, just choose one. And although the reports, like as soon as the season ended, it was Jared Allen won't be back, and lo and behold, he's right there. So, yeah, I rock with the Pacers.
All right, Mitch missed 27 games, Garland missed 25, and Mo missed 32. That's good context, though, right there, B More. That West just chimed in with West from B More. That matters.
Yeah, they missed the. Again, y'all are. You can think something different. I'm not mad at it. I think that the Pacers, if both teams are healthy, I think the Pacers team for the regular season, their style of play makes more sense. It's more conducive to regular season success. And we're giving them help. So we're not looking at Hallie being hurt. We're also, mind you, the Pacers of last year, the first half of the season, they didn't have Siakam. So this team is better than it was last year. First half of the season, they were banking on fucking Buddy Hield and who was there for? Who was the guy?
Before the trade, didn't they start?
Bruce
They
Brown?
didn't start Obi. They didn't start Obi.
It was Bruce Brown. It was Bruce Brown, and Obi was starting, but it was Bruce Brown and Buddy Hield who they were banking on. Like they replaced those guys with Siakam, and this team is clearly better with Siakam. Like they, even with injuries, like if they don't make that, if they don't have Siakam, if that team is what it was before the trade, they don't get out of the first two rounds without. Even with the injuries, to the other teams. I don't think they get past the Bucks without Siakam. If their team is just what they were prior to the Siakam trade, I don't think they get past the Bucks. So I think in the context of last year, I think it may be lost how much better the Pacers got at the middle point of the season when they got Siakam. Hallie went down. So I'm looking at it from that context and that lens, but I'm not mad at the Cleveland shit. They have a new coach. Maybe things get better. The voice in the locker room, kind of lost the guys. Although I don't think JB was a bad coach, and I mean, damn, I year one with D Mitch didn't win anything in the playoffs, but won 50 games in the regular season. Year two with D Mitch. I think they won close to 50 games, if not 50 games again. And in the postseason, got out of a round, and then in the second round against the eventual champs, their best player went down and didn't play the last 3 games of that series. So, I don't know. I just look at it different. Or last 2.5, something like that. So I just look at it a little differently.
All right. That's a bet. Appreciate you, bro, for talking about the Pacers. And also speaking on your viewpoint as far as in comparison to the Cavs. I want to give a shout out to, I'm not going to say the first name, but C Association. You dropping some good messages in the chat, bro. I wish it was on YouTube so I can display it on the screen. What did you type that I like? Yeah, this is basically what I said in a little bit. Develop their young players with a huge emphasis on Mathurin and determine if he's a star in the making or a trade piece. When he came out of Arizona, he was viewed as a really good wing or a good scorer in college with potential to be potentially a star player in this league or a really good scorer in this league. So, again, they have to see what his fit is going to look like alongside Hallie and Siakam. And then can he give them good 6-man of the year or 6-man minutes? Let me put it like that. Maybe even 7. Whoever comes the best between him or TJ. But I think Mathurin is the best guy off the bench, if you ask me. What else did you type that I like? Again, I respect their bench to be arguably their best asset with the ability to swap out players with minimal change for their offensive philosophy and effectiveness. I like that, bro. Will said, Will tight, man. Will said, Will tight. I don't even know who you are. You just came in here yesterday. Will said, Will tight. Nembhard is definitely really good. Can't just type. I can't say it I can't say what you just typed like that. Jordan Woods, it's on you. Over under.
Bro, this dude is wild, man.
I had to catch that on, bro. I'm like, whoa, I can't do that.
I'm gonna go over Bailey. I had them right at 47-48. I'm gonna be quick on them. Nembhard is the player I'm most interested to see. I think he's a very versatile player. I just don't know what his ceiling is. I think it's very up in the air. He's so flashes of upside in games, not in long stretches, but in games, especially in the playoffs, of being like a real player. What that means as far as his ceiling, that's probably what I'm most interested to see from them. How I view them is similar to how I'm not gonna lie, similar to how I view the LA team, bro. Like, and we'll get to them later, but it's the same shit. Like, play style wise, what they're gonna be good at, what they're gonna be bad at. I think it's the same shit. They just like the top end talent, so they probably don't have the same threat of potentially upsetting some of the, top 2 or 3 teams like the LA team does. But I view them almost the exact same way. Top 6 potential team, 48, 49 wins, really good offense, mid-ish defense, and see where you go from there. They just don't have the same top end talent. So yeah, they're gonna be a really good team.
Thanks, brother. Byron or Bar, anything y'all want to add that you didn't hear, or any player you want to shout out, you want to look at this year, or anything like that?
Nah, not really. Everybody kind of said it.
Say about the Pacers.
You got an over under there, real quick?
Huh? Oh, over under. I think they actually be over. They gonna be a good regular season team. They style of play just fit the regular season, like everybody been saying. So, another year with Holly and Pascal, full year, full training camp, all that good stuff. Holly and Pascal been able to gel. Their youngsters taking a leap. Yeah, I can see them actually getting over.
What you about to say, Barry? Appreciate you too. What you about to say, Barry?
I'm about to say, my thing with the Pacers is I really don't care about them until they can play defense. So when they start doing that, I'll start putting them in them upper tier conversations because they almost there, in my opinion. But yeah, besides that, I don't really got too much to say about them.
Appreciate that. BJ, just checking, brother. Are you? If you want to, if you don't, BJ, you got anything to say about the Pacers, brother? If you're there. I don't even know why I even wasting my time, but I'm always here, brother. That's going to come in like 30 seconds, but it is what it is. We move. Thank y'all for all the Indiana Pacers talks.